Hey YouTube, and welcome back to Mike's Mini Motors. So at the end of the last episode, I mentioned that I picked up something that I was really excited to work on, and that's this. Might not look like much right now, but this is a hydraulic tubing bender that I picked up from Rogue Fabrication out of Oregon. I did decide to pick up the weld it yourself kit, because you can buy these already welded together and powder coated and stuff, but one, I wanted to just save a few bucks, but then also I'm trying to hone my welding skill, and so it's more practice, and then I can powder coat it whatever color I'd like. Decided to go with the Rogue Fabrication bender because for what you get, it's cheap compared to a lot of the other options, but there were cheaper options, but those ones they're very limited on their actual functionality, and most of them had non-existent upgradability, where this one I can just keep adding on all that they offer for it. Like I can go all the different dyes, thin wall stuff. So yeah, and I did end up calling them just because I had to ask some questions, because this was a fairly large purchase for me, so I was a bit nervous and I just wanted to make sure everything was in line. Customer service guy I talked to, Michael, he was super friendly and helpful and helped me out, and they seem like a really great company. Even they do giveaways every month. Like actually today I watched their live stream. They gave away a $3,200 huge bending package. It was really nice, and yeah, so they seem like a great company so far. Another thing I picked up from them is this big old beast. It's already clamped into my vise, but this is their VersaNotcher tubing notcher, and it's going to be a huge upgrade over this little dinky Harbor Freight one. Nice thing about it is it can swing way far, so 95 degrees this way, and then 125 this way, and then you can also move the spindle up and down, so if you need a notch off center on a tube. So this will be very nice to use. I did only get one die right now, just because of my budget, but it'll do the 1-inch tubing, which I'm planning on doing for the Power Wheels build, so that's why it's kind of been on the back burner. I was waiting till I could save up to buy this thing. So let's go ahead and get right to it and start welding. They came with instructions, and so I'll just kind of show you guys how to build one of these. Well, I took the parts that we're going to use first to build the base. Is where we start. Took the wire wheel tool just to get any surface rust and mill scale, all that kind of stuff off of there. But to start on the base, it's fairly simple. You take these two pieces like this, and the small, I think it's 9.5-inch little channel, and it slides in like that, and then the other one, and then they'll go like that, and then you take the longer channels and put them here. Line that up a bit. And then this base plate, this big guy, the instructions say that it can only be installed one way. And if you look here, the cutout here is larger on my right, your left. And it needs to go to this side of the base. And once you line that up, these pieces here actually have little notches here that they slide into. And you square everything up. I'll do a better job here in a moment, but just to show you guys, like, this is the basic shape here. And then you can go through and start tack welding it all together, and then we got to flip it over, and these pieces will go, this one goes in the front here, oops, and then this back piece is about here underneath this plate. So I'm going to get this squared up a little bit tighter, and then get her all welded, and I'll do most of that on hyperlapse or off screen, and then we'll get right back to this. there's the base. It's all tack welded together. Should be pretty good. Oh. Next, we need to go on to, I'm gonna move this out of the way for the next minute or so. So now we're gonna do these guys, the uprights. So I gotta I have to weld on some washers on what will be the inside of these plates, and then actually we'll put them in the base. So before that though, I didn't clean these ones up yet, so I'm gonna do that with the wire wheel real quick, and then get to some welding again. Alright, so here is the base, all welded together. I did do more welding on it than the instructions said to, just because it's not going to really hurt it, and I need the practice. So my welds were starting to look better, but when they got to that point, it was unfortunately the ones on the bottom side of this. But the ones that were up here that weren't that pretty, I was able to clean up with the flap disc and stuff. So looks pretty good, and it's all together. It's beefy, and yeah. So now we'll get to the bend wheels that go in here. We've got a few pieces we got to weld onto that. So let me get those, and I'll get them up on the table. Here are the two bend wheels laid out, and if you lay them out right here where the openings are facing each other, it'll be lined up correctly. Because what we need to do is we need to get another washer welded onto both of these, and they'll be on the inside when it's all put together. And then the one here that's on the left, as you're looking at it, we'll flip it over and put on the sticker guard for the angle gauge. So I'm going to go ahead and get to some welding. Alright, and with that is all of the welding needed to do, or to build one of these Rogue Fab benders. And you can see now, my numbers will line up right along with the sticker. There should be the sticker guard. So, unfortunately, I don't have my hydraulic ram yet. The Harbor Freight here in my town said they had one. It went there, they didn't. So I ordered online. They're taking their sweet time shipping it to me, so I don't have it. I'm going to see if I can try to at least get the bend wheels on there and just see what it kind of looks like. And that's going to probably wrap up this episode, just because I'm going to get it powder coated, and I'm waiting for my ram, so I can't finish it right now, unfortunately. But let's get these wheels in the frame and see how she looks. So there's the wheels installed. They're pretty simple to install. What I found was easiest is if I put this pin in first and get this hole lined up on the wheel, and then I can lift it and slide this pin through instead of trying to hold it all up and do it. It's pretty simple. And yeah, that's it. If you see, if I take this guy out, that's how the bend movement. here's the die that I got. This is a 1" by 3.5 CLR. And then I did go ahead and go with their billet spacers that they have now. Or they've had, but they're now the new anodized ones. And that just makes it so I don't have to have this big old stack of washers to try to accommodate the spacing difference there. So those will just get screwed on. And then this goes on this pin in the center. And then we got our pressure roller, which goes up here. And then this is the clamp block, which I'll mount to the tube and then put in here. Yeah. So I'm going to get these spacers bolted up to this and then get these pieces put in just to see how they look. One other thing before I put this in there I wanted to show you guys real quick that they just started doing is they now laser etch what your die is. So this right here, the spacer kind of covers it on this one, but it's 1 by the 3.5 CLR. But then the spacer here even is laser etched to show you what size die it's for. And it's on both sides. Yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys that kind of cool little feature and get back to putting it installed. Or getting it installed, excuse me. Alright, as you can see, I got my die in there, pressure roller behind it, and then my clamp block. So I can get this lined up so you guys can see. So the tube would go right through there and then gets bent. But as you can see, me trying to get these in here, this keeps trying to swing and whatnot. That's just because I don't have my ram in here yet. If I had the ram, it wouldn't be moving around like that. It would be way easier to change dies and everything. Alright, so the tubing bender itself is complete, minus paint or powder coat. I'll have to disassemble it and take it to the powder coaters, and unless it's too expensive, then I'll paint it myself. But we'll do that, and then hopefully here soon my hydraulic ram from Harbor Freight will be here, so they can put these are the parts for it, and then we can actually bend some tubes. And then over there I've also got some upgrades that I purchased that will go on after it's powder coated and everything, and I can show you guys what all that is. So if you're interested in seeing what's coming up next, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet. If you like what I'm doing, give me a like, leave me a comment, and have a great day.